Hey folks, really excited to talk about the Warrior Raid Guide that we're going to be touching on here. 9.1 is going to be a ton of fun, and I love seeing Fury a lot more engaged in active raiding. So, specifically, what we're going to see here: Tier 1, Sudden Death; Tier 2, Double Time; Tier 3, Massacre, if you're Venthyr, like myself. If you're one of the other specs, Frenzy is actually going to be the recommended choice there, which is actually a little bit of an adjustment compared to what we had seen previously. Tier 4, it kind of comes down to what you prefer. I usually prefer Warpaint just because of the reduced damage. Alternatively, Bounding Stride really helps your mobility. Tier 5, Cruelty is the way to go. Tier 6, it just comes down to Dragon Roar or Blade Storm. It just depends if you're using the Signet of Tormented Kings. Um, that's just one of the most fun legendaries I feel like I've come across. And then finally, Tier 7, Anger Management. So a lot of fun, a real lot of fun to be had there. Um, if you're playing with Signet of Tormented Kings, however, back for Tier 6, um, you don't really want to go with Dragon Roar. You should really be taking advantage of Blade Storm, even on single target. So definitely keep that in mind. From a Covenant perspective, Venthyr is still the Covenant for raiding. Going into the Sanctum of Domination, Condemn just has super high value in single target and raid scenarios, and that's really just tied to its increased damage on pull. So being able to really take advantage of the Massacre talent, um, execute damage is really one of the most ideal types of damage you can get your hands on. Door of Shadows has some utility if you need to either cross some space or CC some mobs, but for me, if you had to ask me what Covenant, it would be Venthyr. If you are looking just to max out your Covenant AoE, Night Fae is actually worth checking into as far as Ancient Aftershock goes, but I'll leave you to do a little bit more research in my Mythic Plus vid to find out why. Now on to Legendaries. So I chill those sound effects. Um, Venthyr just came out with this, we'll call it Covenant specific Legendary, and it's the strongest contender for single target in the raid Sanctum of Domination. It's called Sinful Surge, and effectively what it does, it just extends the duration of Recklessness by 2 seconds for Fury. Additionally, it extends the duration of Colossus Smash by 1.5 seconds for arms, and then for protection, Last Stand by 3 seconds. So pretty attractive right across the board. Um, as far as like AoE, Signet of Tormented Kings is the way to go, but I think ultimately what you should be doing, I'd recommend go craft Sinful Surge if you're the Venthyr, get it on your neck piece. Um, Ultimately, the other specs, I would probably just pass on them. I'm not as sold, but if you want to go check out Glory for the Necrolords, I think it's got some potential. It's you just have to be situationally aware when your group doesn't want Conqueror's Banner. Nature's Fury, on the other hand, yeah, there's some pro and con with that. It's definitely specific to the Night Fae Legendary. It'll be a solid contender for single target damage as well. So things to keep in mind. I've, I'll be playing with my exploiter right off the bat here because I play half the time as arms. Um, Definitely interested to see how Fury stacks up overall, though. I know we are seeing basically you want to get your haste up to that like 25 to 30% value, and then really start to prioritize mastery, critical strike reversed after that, and then finally haste again after that. So really load up on haste till you get about to that 25 to 30% mark, and then don't really worry about it it'll have maximized the benefit that you can get from reducing your globals. All right, folks, that's kind of the fun that's going down right here. Fury is in a great spot. I'm really excited to get this big guy swinging, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Good luck in the Sanctum of Domination raid. Let me know any other talents or builds that I should be looking at doing differently, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Later.